Hey everybody, this is Courtney. I'm one of the co-founders of Dandelion Branding, and welcome to our channel. Dandelion Branding is a digital marketing agency that works with sustainably focused businesses. And here on our channel, I make educational videos about digital marketing, and we also have a podcast called Environmental, where we've been deep diving into different issues around sustainability and also doing an interview series of different business owners who are dedicated to sustainable change in some way. So if you're looking for some education or inspiration on your sustainable journey, then subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it. Today, I'm going to talk a bit about greenwashing and really why this is such an issue and why it makes sustainable business owners' job 10 times harder. I'm also going to go into some ways that we can combat greenwashing. So stay tuned. Let's jump into it. So first up, let's just get it out of the way. What is greenwashing? So greenwashing is essentially a term used to describe when companies create the false impression that their products, their service, or their business practice are environmentally friendly or sustainable, even when they may not be. So companies greenwash by making kind of exaggerated or even sometimes false claims, vague terminology, providing, incomplete information about their actions towards their sustainable goals. There are a lot of different kind of examples of greenwashing. It could be something as small as, using plant imagery on your labels to kind of elicit that feeling of environmentally friendliness. Using terms like all natural, these, even sustainable. These terms are vague and they don't have any kind of concrete meaning. So consumers kind of take them to mean different things. It can be a bit subjective, but all of it essentially is because, businesses know that consumers are willing to pay a little bit more for products that aren't harmful to the environment, to the people that create those products, or to themselves. And that is essentially the issue, is that businesses know that, and so that they use that to their advantage to make more sales, even if they aren't, doing anything to actually make a difference. So that's the issue that we're facing. So not only does greenwashing affect the consumer, but it makes it so much harder for truly sustainable businesses to actually succeed. In essence, I think the biggest one is that greenwashing just makes the sustainable movement more confusing. Because all of these greenwashers, they have the funds to make these claims, to really make it look like they're making a difference when they're not. And those lies that exist, kind of really undermine the efforts of genuinely sustainable businesses that are trying to make their products more sustainable, or they're being honest about the impacts that they truly have on the environment when producing products. Because everybody has an impact, right? There's no such thing as perfectly sustainable. There's no I did it, I achieved it. It's a process. It is an ever evolving process where we're just trying to make better decisions for the globe, for humanity, right? And when greenwashers co-opt these terms, it really dilutes the meaning of sustainability and this movement in general. And it reduces it down to this kind of marketing jargon. And when consumers are constantly exposed to those kind of false and exaggerated claims, it creates a ton of confusion, skepticism, kind of general apathy. And it just makes it so much harder for the sustainable businesses to stand out because they have to, now work to avoid some of that language that greenwashers typically use. It just kind of compounds these issues and it makes it so much harder. Just being exposed to greenwashing so much, it really can lead to a lack of trust between businesses and consumers. Consumers just be like, it just seems like everybody's greenwashing, right? It just seems like all of it is just lies. So why am I even trying? They feel very misled or even like manipulated in ways, which they are being manipulated. Greenwashing is manipulative. And so sustainable businesses have to work even harder to kind of gain back that trust, to truly prove that they're really putting their money where their mouth is. The consumers that would be interested in sustainable products have been disillusioned. So sustainable businesses have to work kind of to climb up that mountain to win back that trust in order to actually grow their business and potentially, actually succeed and gain a foothold in their market. And it can be really challenging for business owners to do that, especially, the independent, small, mid-sized businesses that are, actually dedicated to making change. It's a huge challenge. Additionally, another way that greenwashing really hurts sustainable businesses is because greenwashing is embedded into like every aspect of creating a business. So if you are developing products, you now have to kind of look out for greenwashing in your suppliers, in your warehouse, in your manufacturers, in your any partners that you might collaborate with in business. They could be greenwashing too, right? So you have to become as like skeptical of these things as consumers do. And kind of sifting through that deceptive language, right? And that just makes it so much harder to find kind of genuine partners that share similar values and that are also dedicated truly to lessening their impact and making better business decisions for people and for the planet. And, trusting the wrong person could mean that you're unintentionally making false claims when you're believing what they have said, and perhaps they were greenwashing this. Let's say they are suppliers. So your blind faith in that supplier could mean that you're unintentionally contributing to some sort of environmental harm, despite their claims to the contrary. So that's what we're up against. What can we do to combat it? I think the first thing is increasing education around sustainability. The only way that we can really kind of ensure that folks stay motivated on their sustainable journey is to make sure that they know what to look out for so they don't get taken advantage of by greenwashing marketing. So as a sustainable business owner, it's important for you to kind of focus on education within your content and to help folks on their sustainable journey to understand kind of how to identify some of these false claims. What are you actually dedicated to, and why is that something that is a real sustainable goal versus something that might be greenwashing, and, helping them to understand the realities that we're up against as consumers, as individuals living in this, society. They have to make these decisions every single day, anytime that we're purchasing something. So really educating folks on some of those ways to identify those false claims and how to tell when a business is truly dedicated to sustainability will be a great thing. Another way to combat greenwashing is with third-party certifications. So these are great not only for consumers to be able to kind of know, okay, I have a couple trusted third-party certifications that are personally, similar in my values. So when I'm consuming products, I'm going to look for those. But as you're developing your brand, you also want to find those third-party certifications that are going to make sense for your business. It really depends. There are some that are certifications for your business as a whole, but there are also others for potentially the ingredients or the raw materials that are going into the products that you're creating. So you can look for certifications really for any step of the process, whether it be certifying your products, your ingredients, or your brand itself. all of which can be really helpful just to be able to kind of cut through the noise of any nonsense marketing jargon and really use these reliable third-party certifications that are easily identifiable. And also they're great communities of like-minded business owners. So that can be a great place for you as a business owner to find potential collaborators and things like that. Another way that we can combat greenwashing is by supporting those brands that are taking action. So, even as a business owner, you still are a consumer. So it's important for you to kind of make sure that you're also putting your money into businesses that are working on making a difference. The last way to really combat greenwashing is to hold greenwashers accountable. This can be very challenging, of course. These are huge businesses typically. One way to do this is by reporting instances of greenwashing. There are regulatory agencies like the FTC in the US or the ASA in the UK. I'm sure there are many kind of throughout the globe that focus on monitoring this type of language and making sure that businesses aren't just overtly lying. So that's a great kind of route. These agencies aren't able to monitor everything. So being able to kind of report something if you see it is great. They are definitely making steps to hold companies accountable for the claims that they make, forcing businesses to either remove those claims or to show actual proof and evidence that they are taking steps towards making that claim a reality. And they have a lot more power than we do as individuals, right? So that's a great way to hold them accountable. And another way, again, is by boycotting these businesses. Consumers have a lot of collective power, and we can show these big businesses and these greenwashers that we are not going to put up with their unsustainable practices any longer. So that is a really important and really powerful way that we as a collective group can make a difference here. So I encourage you to take some of these steps, talk with those around you, see how you can kind of make some of these changes in your life. It's going to definitely be a benefit for the whole, because again, this is not only going to help consumers just be able to make better decisions, but also to help businesses that are actually dedicated to creating a sustainable future be able to thrive. So we want both of those things to happen. These really deceitful greenwashing tactics are really kind of what fuel our fire at Dandelion. We know how hard it is to compete against these big businesses, and that really is why we do what we do and why we help to elevate the impact of truly sustainable businesses. So I hope that this was helpful. If you want to chat at all about any marketing help for your sustainable business, don't hesitate to reach out. We are always available. So thank you so much for watching. Watch out for greenwashing, and I'll be back next time with our next topic. So thanks so much, guys. Bye.